Brief history of Southern Song Dynasty. Under the aesthetic but politically detached leadership of Emperor Huizong, the Song court miscalculates its northern alliances. The Song forms a secret alliance on the sea, with the rising Jurchen tribes to reclaim lost territory. The campaign reveals a decayed military apparatus as Song forces fail to seize their designated targets. Observing Song incompetence, the Jin dynasty turns their aggression toward the Song in 1125. The conflict culminates in the 1127 siege and fall of the capital, Kaifeng. The Jingkang incident sees the capture of two emperors and thousands of court officials. The traditional birthplace of Chinese civilization falls entirely under Jurchen control. Amidst the ruin, Zhao Go escapes capture and is proclaimed Emperor Gaozong. The Southern Song is established in Nanjing in 1127 before moving further south. The court refers to the new capital as Xingzai, reflecting a hope for eventual reconquest. Relocation necessitates an overhaul of the state's infrastructure to suit the riverine south. The dynasty reinvents itself within the coastal and riverine landscapes of the south. Survival depends on exploiting natural water barriers against northern cavalry. The Southern Song creates China's first permanent standing navy. Unlike previous militias, the state maintains a professional naval force with advanced technology. Shipbuilders pioneer watertight bulkheads to improve buoyancy and protect cargo. Stern post rudders are developed for enhanced maneuverability in complex river systems. In 1161, the Jin Emperor launches a massive invasion with 600 warships. The Jin aim for total unification, significantly outnumbering the Song defenders. Despite the odds, the Song Navy relies on superior technology to hold the line. The Song achieve a decisive victory at Tangdao, crippling the Jin Navy. A second triumph at the Battle of Kashi repels the massive invasion. Paddle wheel warships allow the Song to navigate independently of wind conditions. Defensive victories are secured through the employment of incendiary gunpowder. The fire lance, huachong, is first recorded in 1132 as a primitive firearm. Gunpowder is used to eject projectiles or flames at oncoming enemies. Song alchemists refined gunpowder formulas to increase explosive power. Increased nitrate levels allow for the creation of lethal new weapons. The Song develop hard-shell grenades capable of piercing metal armor. This era marks the birth of chemical warfare in East Asian history. Gunpowder-filled thunderclap bombs are used to demoralize and destroy Jin forces. Naval trebuchets launch incendiary devices to set enemy ships ablaze. Official Yu Yunwen uses improvised naval defenses to stop the Jin. Primitive firearms utilize bamboo or metal tubes for defense. These innovations allow a militarily vulnerable state to survive against superior numbers. Technological mastery provides a monumental shift in military doctrine. General Yue Fei leads the war party, seeking to reclaim the lost heartland. Yue Fei leads successful counteroffensives that threaten the Jin capital. To the emperor, a general with a private army poses a threat to imperial legitimacy. Gaozong fears that returning the former emperors would undermine his own throne. Chancellor Qin Hui champions a policy of negotiated peace and appeasement. Qin Hui argues that prolonged warfare will bankrupt the struggling southern state. The Peace Party faction prevails, forcing a halt to the northern expedition. Qin Hui orchestrates the arrest of Yue Fei on fabricated charges. The general is executed in 1142 on false charges of treason. His death clears the way for a humiliating peace treaty with the Jin. Yue Fei is later canonized as a patriotic martyr and national hero. History vilifies Qin Hui as a traitor for his role in the execution. The Treaty of Shaoxing formalizes the border between the Song and Jin. The Song renounce all claims to the traditional Yellow River heartland. The Song agrees to pay a massive annual tribute of 250,000 taels of silver. The empire accepts a subordinate status as a quasi-tributary to the Jin. Heroic generals like Han Shizong are forced into retirement to centralize control. Peace allows the court to centralize military power under civil authority. The Southern Song aesthetic becomes refined and often melancholic. A court in exile grapples with the psychological reality of displacement. Literature reflects a deep, unfulfilled longing for the reconquest of the North. Despite the peace, the state lives under the constant threat of destruction. Displacement forces a total reorientation of the imperial state. Appeasement secures the dynasty's survival, but at a heavy cultural cost. The loss of northern land routes forces the Song to look toward the sea. For the first time, maritime trade revenue becomes critical to the state budget. The government establishes customs superintendencies, Shibo-si, to regulate trade. Guangzhou rises to prominence as the emporium of the world. High-quality silk, tea, and porcelain reach markets as far as East Africa. The Song imports luxury woods and spices from Southeast Asia and India. Construction of massive junks allows for the transport of hundreds of passengers. The Song perfects the magnetic compass for sea travel by 1119. A single shipwreck can hold thousands of pounds of fragrant wood and ceramics. The coastal cities host a cosmopolitan population of global traders. Chinese ships displace Arab middlemen on many major trade routes. The empire is transformed into a commercially vibrant maritime power. A highly monetized economy requires more currency than metal can provide. The Southern Song institutionalizes the huizi, the world's first systematic paper money. Huizi are initially backed by silver and copper to ensure their value. Specialized paper notes offices, huiziku, manage the currency. Factories in Hangzhou employ over 1,000 workers to print currency daily. The Pinda formula requires taxes to be paid in a mix of cash and notes. The monetary system remains relatively stable during the mid-12th century. The need to finance military expenditures eventually leads to overissuance. Volume in circulation rises from 41 million to 329 million minutes by 1231. As notes lose value, merchants begin to refuse them in trade. Late in the dynasty, hyperinflation devastates the economy and social trust. Financial instability compromises the state's ability to resist future invasions. The Southern Song is the crucible of Neo-Confucianism, the school of principle. Zushi argues the universe is governed by Li and manifested through Qi. Philosophy emphasizes the investigation of things to achieve moral perfection. He systematizes the four books as the essential teachings of Confucianism. Neo-Confucianism becomes the standard curriculum for civil service exams. Qin Zhuxiao emerges as one of the greatest mathematicians in Chinese history. Qin systematically describes the Chinese remainder theorem centuries before the West. He introduces the zero symbol into written Chinese mathematics. He applies mathematics to meteorology, developing rain and snow gauges. He solves polynomial equations of extraordinary degrees using numerical methods. Intellectual shifts prioritize family loyalty and social hierarchy. These works provide a unified ideological framework that lasts for centuries. A refined, melancholic aesthetic reflects the reality of a court in exile. The Majia school creates intimate, asymmetrical landscape compositions. Ma Yuan is known as One Corner Ma for his unique visual style. This aesthetic is a visual metaphor for the Song's reduced territorial stat. Ceramics like hare's fur, Jian ware reach their technical zenith. The Qi, lyric poetry form, allows for flexible and emotive expression. Patriotic poet Lu Yu, writes thousands of poems longing for reconquest. Xin Qiji uses poetry to express martial patriotism and frustration. Decorative arts are highly prized by the imperial court and foreign collectors. Art focuses on evanescent, poetic moments rather than cosmic panoramas. Writers use allusions to critique the policy of appeasement. The era's culture is celebrated as one of the pinnacles of Chinese high culture. After the Jin fall in 1234, the Mongol Empire turns its sights on the Song. The South's rivers and rice paddies are ill-suited for Mongol cavalry. The siege of Shenyang lasts nearly 6 years, blocking the path to the Yangtze. The Mongols utilize a professionalized navy, staffed by defected Song sailors. Kublai Khan deploys Muslim trebuchets, designed by Persian engineers. Counterweight trebuchets fire massive stones that outrange Song defenses. The fall of Shenyang in 1273 signals the end of the Song's natural defenses. Mongol forces sweep through the valley, capturing Linan in 1276. The final stand occurs at the naval battle of Yamen in 1279. Despite their numbers, the Song fleet is crushed by the Yuan navy. Prime Minister Lu Shifu commits suicide with the young emperor, followed by thousands. This tragic conclusion marks the first time all of China is unified under foreign rule.